Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better are member-only doorbuster deals. Right now, rewards members can save $40 on an Allen & Roth Chesler Gold faucet. Was $99, now $59. Plus, save $110 on a Cobalt 40-volt battery trimmer and blower combo kit. Was $279, now $169. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/24 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
So what did you do so you're just minding your own business, doing what people do in there?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden someone comes in and blah.
This is the plaintiff, Jay Contrastano. He says he and the defendant worked together, and that guy got sick at their company Christmas party and threw up all over him. His 100% wool suit was stained beyond repair. It was a disgusting mess. He wants to buy a new suit, which will cost him big bucks, and he's suing for the $1,135. He's now out. This is the defendant, Michael Broshue. He says he felt ill from the drinks at the party, and he ran into the bathroom, but didn't quite make it to a toilet, and he threw up on the plaintiff. The plaintiff told everyone at work what happened. It made him look stupid, and he had to be reassigned. Bottom line, the guy had the suit cleaned. It has no stains on it, and this was just an unfortunate accident, and he owes nothing. He's accused of losing it.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn.
Okay, Mr. Contrastano?
Correct.
The two of you work together, correct?
Yes.
What kind of business are you in?
Construction. I'm an
Do you work
electrician.
for a construction firm?
Yes.
Both of you?
Yes.
All right, the same firm.
Yes.
And you've been working there how long?
The better part of 20 years.
And how about you?
6.5.
Okay. So, company Christmas party.
Yes.
Yeah. I love those. Drinking, revelry, inappropriate, whatever. All right, so what happens? You do a little drinking, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, a lot of drinking that day.
Enough.
And enough to make you sick.
Yes.
It wasn't the quality of the drink that got you sick, it was the quantity of it, right?
Yes.
All right, so
that
what
with
happens?
the food, too. I was just overstuffed, we'll say.
Oh, it was a food?
Yeah.
It wasn't that you were wasted?
No, I was drinking, too.
Okay, so what happens? You actually, to your credit, you're trying to make it to the bathroom.
Yes.
And what happened?
I started getting ill at the table, so I ran to the bathroom. And honestly, I didn't make it to the toilet.
And what happened?
I puked in the back of his suit.
Of all the places in the bathroom you could puke, why did you end up puking on the back of his suit? I guess that's...
It was like projectile. Like, there was no more holding it.
There was no more holding it. So it was, do you actually remember this? Because that had to shock your system at that minute. So.
Yeah, for the better part, I do remember it. But.
So what did you do so you're just minding your own business, doing what people do in there?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden someone comes in and blah?
Well, I saw him walking away from the open bar with his hand over his mouth like this and his cheeks puffed out like this.
I thought you were in the bathroom when it happened.
No, I was in the bathroom ahead of him, but he was only about 10 steps behind me. I thought he was going to keep going straight to go outside and lose it out there, but he didn't. He went into the bathroom about 10 steps behind me. He tried to get into a couple of the stalls, which I believe were occupied. He turned around and came back.
I don't know how you're not plastered against the wall, trying not to be in the range of... So he ends up losing his cookies on the back of your jacket?
Yes.
Because this was a nice event, everybody was all dressed up?
Yes.
All right, so he throws up on you, and what do you say or do?
Well, I got out of the bathroom as quick as I could and took my jacket off and saw how bad it was. Of course, I was angry, but there was nothing I could do. I mean, even if I wanted to fight him, it wouldn't do anything. It wasn't going to clean my suit.
Why would you fight him? Why would that be what you pulled out of your grab bags of possible solutions?
Yeah, I know. Well, people told me I should have done that, but...
Why? What would that solve?
Exactly.
That's silly.
Exactly.
You're a grown man. Don't be silly. Go on.
Right. But at that point, one of the waitresses came over and gave me a bag to put it in and said, take it home and get it cleaned, and we'll clean it. We'll pay for it.
Who said that?
The waitress.
Why? That wasn't her fault.
I don't know, but...
All right, so what happens?
Well, I couldn't get to the dry cleaners till Monday afternoon. So this happened Saturday night. So it sat in my car for 2 days. There's nothing I could do about it. I don't know of any dry cleaner that's open 24 hours.
Well, there are, but anyway, so go ahead. So you could take it there on Monday, and what happens?
Took it there on Monday. I picked it up on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's on the ticket.
Okay.
And they showed me that they couldn't get all the stains out of it.
Did you try somewhere else or just
No.
that one place?
No,
All right, can I see the jacket?
Sure.
And he wouldn't let me take it to the spot I wanted to take it to.
Well, first of all, when you sober up,
I went and apologized to him again at work.
were you
and I
mortified?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I was embarrassed. It's not like I purposely went and threw up on him.
Okay, what are all these circles? Is that what somebody has circled?
Yeah, I had the dry cleaner circle what he saw.
All I get to see right now are a bunch of circles, though.
So that's what I'm saying. He showed me the suit. I can't see any stains either. What's good from here?
I guess what's bothering me is that I'm looking at something where someone has gone, it's hard for me to see the actual deficit
Chalk should brush right off.
Excuse me. Unless I'm looking at something that has, look, this is as clean as it gets. Instead, I have somebody drawing all over it. You say this brushes right off?
Yes.
I'll brush it all right off, will you?
Okay.
So now you had a very direct hit on the back of his jacket. How much of your jacket was puked on?
I mean, it was just a front, like there's lines coming down, puke.
All right, were you able to get it out of yours?
Everything came out.
Let me see yours. And what dry cleaners did you take that to?
Oh, it's Hourglass.
Okay.
And my suit doesn't cost anywhere near $1,000.
No, it doesn't, sweetheart. But that is not indicative of how much someone else's suit costs. I don't know. We're taking a look at that now.
I can see a big stain. Yep.
Show me where, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Can we bring the jacket over here, sir? Could you come over here?
Certainly.
Go ahead.
They are hard to see, I know they are, but there's one right in here.
Where?
It's darker there than it should be in this area here.
Okay.
I know the light has to be on it just the right way. There's one in here. There's one right here. I can see one here.
Yeah, I can't see them, but I got to tell you, I do see, like, all of this is dark like that. That I don't know that that has anything to do with his projectile. Go ahead and go back.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is the plaintiff entitled to a brand new suit?
I'd go with he's not.
Because?
I mean, he was at the party too. He was most likely probably drunk, so.
Most likely, probably. Okay, the suit's got a tiny bit of a stain on it.
Doesn't matter. Still deserves a new suit.
Does deserve a new suit.
He does deserve a new suit.
New suit, no new suit?
No new suit.
But what about the stain? If you have do you have to live with the stain knowing somebody grossly threw up on you?
Sorry, throwing up is a bodily function. Could have happened to anybody. He tried, got it clean. Stain didn't come out.
I love you. You should be on Saturday Night Live. Throwing up is a bodily function going inside the courtroom.
So now let me ask you a question. How old is this suit?
The suit is approximately 4 years old.
Do you have a receipt?
I don't have a receipt.
How am I going to value it if I can't depreciate it from a known figure? I'm looking up the make And I presume even this one maker has a variety of prices. Yeah, it depends on which suit, you know. Where did you buy it?
I believe I bought it online.
Then you should be able to easily get me a receipt. Why don't I have a receipt if it was online?
I couldn't find it.
Okay.
Could I ask one question, Your Honor?
Yes.
The suit I have on is 18 years old, and this was an $800 suit also.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to buy quality and not anything less than that because they last.
Right, and I believe that. The problem is that used suits don't go for that. You understand? And when you are in court, what you're asking for is the value of the item at the time of the loss. That means it requires the court to engage in depreciation. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So, for example, if I go to eBay now and someone's selling a Gianni Manzoni suit, would you like to see what they go for? Used?
New?
No, not new. You don't get replacement value. Used. They go for very little. They go for 140. They go for, this one's going for 70. I don't know why that one's so cheap. This one's going for $49.95. You understand? So it's going to be a lot less than what you're asking for.
Right, but the point is I don't wear them that often. That's why this one lasted me 18 years.
But how do we know those are my stains that I caused?
Please.
But it's true. He could have stained at any time.
Who is the lovely lady that you've brought with you to court?
My grandmother.
Oh, you must be so proud. All right. What are you suing for? Lost wages? Jeez. Are you two still working in the same place?
I left because he was just harassing me the whole time.
Harassing you how?
Well, for one, he brings a sheriff to work to come serve me papers. He never asked for my address. He could have just sent them in the mail. But
I believe he wanted to embarrass you at work. You're a bit much.
Then he goes to the general contractor. I have a voicemail of my employer calling me saying that he won't stop calling the office.
Why don't they fire him if he's being such a pain? Why did you ended up leaving?
Yeah, I left to a different job site.
But for the same employer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have to leave.
There's a bunch of different job sites.
So they just assigned you elsewhere.
Yeah, a new one.
All right. All right.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir. Do you have proof of what the dry cleaning cost you?
Yes.
Can I have it?
Sure. I would like to know how I harassed you.
How did he harass you? I would like to know too.
Well, pretty much I couldn't do my work because one, he told the whole job site. So now everyone all the time.
Everyone knows you puked. It was a Christmas party.
Yeah, but
what do you think, that people don't know what you did?
Well, no, it's not just our company there. Everyone's there. But before I knew it, everyone knew. So now I can't even do my job because everyone's coming up to me
And what? And laughing?
Laughing, like just making stupid jokes. Like, I don't know.
Okay. It's the 2320?
Yeah, I believe that's it, yes.
Okay. Okay. I invite you to go online and see what used suits go for. I'm going to take into account that you seem to take very good care of your suits. But I also have to take into account that I have zero idea how old this suit is because you haven't brought me a receipt. So this is the part, you already got your hand on the door.
Oh, I know where you are.
I'm asking you questions still. What are we doing, Douglas?
Well, I feel a little rough justice.
That is exactly right. I'm going to award you apparently a very generous $150 on the jacket and an additional, in fact, that's just calling it the whole suit ruined, and an additional $23.20 that you had to pay to get it fixed, for a judgment in your favor in the amount of $173.20, not $1,135. Good luck, folks.
So, Mr. Brochure, you're going to have to end up paying him $173.
Yes.
The value of his suit. You okay?
I'm okay. I just still don't feel like I owe him anything, but.
Well,
I do now, so.
Yeah, you do. Come on. And why'd you bring your grandmom to court with you today?
She wanted to come.
I volunteered to be moral support.
Okay. Did she help?
Yeah, she helped.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's the way it goes. Be careful next Christmas party, okay?
Yeah. No drinking.
Very good. No drinking. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Well, my goodness, you wanted $1,100. You're getting not even $200.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Not good.
Not good at all.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with the suit? Can you still wear it? Will you still wear it?
No, I'm not going to wear it. It's got stains all over the back of it.
Why didn't you bring some receipts? Try it at least.
If I had the receipt, I surely would have brought it. I could not find it anywhere.
Really? The judge thinks you could have gotten it online. Would have helped. Anyway, okay. Good
Okay.
luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, here's the deal. You're entitled to the depreciated value of the suit at the time of the loss. That's the law. It may not be fair. That's the law. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Nakia Gonzalez. She says she and the defendant started a head wrap business, and the defendant stole the equipment she purchased. That's right. She has her fabric cutter, thread, and the defendant refuses to pay for them. She has no other choice but to sue her in this court for the $271.95 that's rightfully hers. This is the defendant, Garcia. She said the plaintiff flaked out on the business they were supposed to run together, and she had to pay other people to do the work the plaintiff was supposed to do. The girl even resorted to threatening her life. She just wants to be done with her and feels she owes her nothing. She's accused of busting up a business. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500 for emotional distress.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant stole her equipment from her head wrap business, fabric cutter and all. The defendant says the plaintiff flaked out and she had to pick up the pieces. It's the case of how to get ahead.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez, how do you and Ms. Garcia know each other?
We met at the Future Now program at Bronx Community College.
All right, so how long were you friends? I take it you were friends before now.
Briefly, yes.
Yeah, how long had you known each other? How many years?
Months.
Months.
Yeah,
Months. And you decided to go into
program.
business together. And what about the things you'd learned in months made you think that it would be a good idea to go into business together?
I just thought she was reliable, responsible, respectful, honest. So I decided.
And how were you disappointed?
She just didn't hold up her end of the bargain.
Meaning?
We were supposed to own the business together, her being the co-owner, and she was supposed to do things like pay for things, show up, cut fabric.
All right, now what was the business? What is the business?
We make head wraps, sorry.
Head wraps,
Right.
all right. And when you say she didn't show up, what do you mean?
There was multiple times where she was supposed to come to my house to actually work.
Physically work, like
physically work,
cut
yes.
the
and
wraps.
She never did, and she came about 4 times. The 3 times she did came, she brung her
4 times
kids.
or 3 times?
3. No, she came 4 times, but 3 out of the 4 times she brung her kids, and the 4th time she came, she worked a little bit, but she was mostly on the phone with her baby daddy, so.
Okay. What exactly did you think was your end of the deal here? Like, what was supposed to happen?
I was supposed to go to her house, put up money, also help buy the fabric and some of the equipment that we used.
Okay, but until when? In perpetuity, until you were 100 years old? Like, exactly what was the business plan between you two? Was anything in writing? Was there any expectation?
There was nothing in
How
writing.
many hours a week each person would put into it? Or
no.
Nothing. Who are the folks with you here today?
This is my mom, my witness, and this is my girlfriend. She's also a witness.
To what? What are they witnesses to?
Well, when she came banging on our door, my mom was actually in the house, and the other time that she was harassing me, calling me, texting me, she was there.
All right, so I take it that's on your counterclaim for emotional distress.
Yes.
Because what happens? You get told you're out of the business.
As she said, I wasn't able to make it a few times due to my children.
So you kind of acknowledge that you weren't going to be part of the business anymore.
Yeah.
And all you're asking for is to get reimbursed what you put in.
Yes.
All right, now, according to you, what did you put into this headdress head wrap, what did you call it? Head wrap business.
Yes. I bought the tag gun, the fabric cutter, the domain for the website, and the first month of the website payment, and as well as $120 in cash for fabric and thread, I believe is what.
Now, I'm going to need you to prove up the expenses that you are suing for. What you got?
This is my credit card transactions. I highlighted the amounts.
Let's see.
And I also have the purchase from Amazon of the tag gun. And
Okay, hold on. So the two purchases, I see here, the tag gun and the fabric cutter. And what's Squarespace?
That's the website.
Squarespace is the website?
Yeah, where we build our website on.
Okay, so I see the $20 and the $46. Do you have any proof? You don't dispute any of that, do you?
No.
So if you decide that you no longer want to be business partners, why wouldn't you reimburse her for this and get rid of her?
The way she went about it, we never spoke about her getting her stuff back. She just hit me up one day and told me, I want my stuff back, basically, or else. And I have messages and voice notes of everything.
But why doesn't that sound fair to you?
It does sound fair, but
then why? So what did you offer her?
I offered her for her to calm down, and then I'll give her stuff. But she was threatening me, so I said that I could give it to the police station, or you could find another way to get it, but you're not going to come to my house and get it.
Okay, and why wasn't that fair? What were you trying to do? Give her back the gun and the...
Yes, which I still have at my house.
Because you've used it, and you're using it in your business, and she didn't get the benefit of any of it because she didn't get a single penny of profit, right?
Right, yes.
So that's not fair. You need to buy that offer. And also, that didn't include the domain and the first month of the domain fee. What about this fabric and thread? Did she give you $120 for fabric and thread?
Never.
And do you have any proof that you did?
I also have this conversation between us.
Okay. So did she put up fabric and thread?
No.
You
she bought
sure?
everything else, yes.
What about fabric and thread?
Absolutely not. I have messages showing that I bought everything. I put $1,500 up. She only put the little bit up. And I still have the stuff that she bought in the house.
What am I looking at?
In the middle of the page.
Instant Messenger? What am I looking at?
That's Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger. So the first thing I'm looking at is her to you?
Yes, I believe
and
the first
she says
3.
that's $200 for threads.
Right, but she never paid it. She never gave it to me.
It's in the middle where I say, so 120 today, right? And she says yes, confirming that was the date that
Where's that? Okay, so she says, so 120 today though, right?
Yes.
And you say yes.
And then I have a lot of messages of her saying, I'm on my way right now, and then it turns out she's not on her way. She never gave me cash. She said she was gonna give it to me today, the same way she said I'm gonna come today.
When did you guys break up your business plan?
Late
because
August.
after this, there's 4 times when she's there. I'm having a hard time believing she didn't give you that 120 in any of those 4 times she's there. No. If she still owed you the 120 because you're making it sound like it's part of, hey, this is what you have to bring to the table, then why wouldn't there be texts from you throughout the time from this day to the 4th day that she's there where you're texting her, hey, you still owe me the 120 if she still owed it.
She just didn't do what she had to do. She never gave me 120
That's
cash.
why you kicked her out of the business. But what you don't get to do is cheat. So what I'm asking you now is something very specific. She says she gave 120 for fabric and thread. She is showing me messages that seem to indicate that that's exactly what you were demanding, okay?
Yeah.
And if you were demanding it and your position is, but she didn't pay it, Judge, then I would expect to see where you're saying to her, hey, where's the 120?
Okay.
Do you have that?
No.
Then I'm kind of not believing you on whether she gave you the 120. Now, you're suing her for $500 for emotional distress. Tell me about that.
She was asking for her stuff. She was asking for money, and her boyfriend was making threats. She actually did show up to my house 2 or 3 times. We have an order protection against her. The cops found her in front of my door. She was banging. I have pictures here that she damaged the door. At the time, it was just me, my mom, and my girlfriend in the house. My mom was 1 month pregnant at the time, and we go to the same college, so I was pretty scared to see her around, not knowing what she'll do.
But you have a funny way of reacting to a perceived threat. It's so easy. If you just paid back what you owe for, because if you're saying I'm kicking her out because she's not doing her part, so we're dissolving our partnership, then there's certain monies owed, and you're just kind of like,
And
you're keeping that. You're keeping the profits, and you're keeping that.
I never said
So
I
this is how
wasn't.
this starts to escalate.
I never said I wasn't going to give her,
Well, really?
her stuff back.
So she can deposit your good intentions. I never said I wasn't going to pay her back. What's that mean? Where are the pictures you wanted me to see?
This is the damage she did to my door. This is the fabric that she messed up. She would like for the judge to see. These is pretty much how she
He's
did
not
my
going to
door.
decide the case. So if you want to testify, you have to speak up. What is it you're pointing out there? Fabric she messed up?
She messed up a fabric, so that was another part of the counterclaim for
No, it's
$40.
not. The only part of the counterclaim is emotional distress. How is it that she did damage to this door? What damage on the door are you pointing out?
Right there in the corner, September 2nd, when she called and said that she was coming to pick her stuff up.
Hold on 1 second. Is this door like this? Like there's a wall here? Yeah. I'm trying to get perspective.
Yeah, so she's pretty much had
how is
something
she
trying
making
to get
damage
in.
that 1 inch? Let's put a pin in you a second, and let's ask you, how would she do that damage there? How did she do it?
First she was kicking on the door, but then we went to the back room.
But the kick wouldn't be there. You break your ankle.
I know that she was kicking on the door because I was holding the door. Then after that, we went to the back room, and whatever she was doing at the front, we were just in the back waiting for the police.
What did the police do when they got there? Was she there when the police got there? And what happened?
So these litigants knew each other for a couple of months, went into business together. Good idea, bad idea.
Bad idea.
Why?
They only knew each other for a couple months.
Why is that bad?
Well, it's just because they knew each other for a couple months. You don't know each other.
Was it a good idea to go into business with anybody you're friends with?
No, or a family.
Why?
Because too many things can go wrong, and then you don't have a leg to stand on.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Pretty much she fought with the police. She got arrested.
Did you get arrested?
Yes, I did. For harassment, yes. And it was dropped down to misconduct.
What were you doing? How did you manage to get yourself arrested?
I guess she had showed the text messages that I had sent her telling her that I was going to
Let's see the text messages that are in question here.
And
does anybody have them in the actual phone?
Yes, you have it in your phone,
Yeah,
yes.
let me see them there.
Okay, so scrolling down.
How's the business doing? Are you still?
Yeah, it's doing good, thank you.
Good. So, oddly, there's discussion about paying her, and then she says, when are you going to pay me? And that irritates you. And you say to her, you've been MIA for a minute, so don't rush me. Then you guys smack talk back and forth. Then you say, are you threatening me to her? She says, I'm just saying don't take too long. I know you're busy, but just try your best to sort everything out. Your answer is there's nothing to work out now. After having bragged that you're making lots of money, then you say, I'm not your baby daddy or your kids, and you're not going to tell me what to do. You don't sound too scared. Would tell me what to do or come into my house. That's disrespectful. She calls you. You tell her, I'm not picking up. She asks, does that mean you're not going to pay me? And that's when she leaves this little message.
You're not going to pay me. You need to man up and say that because I will go to your crib. Are you going to pay me, yes or no? Choose wisely.
All right. Then you say, am I supposed to be scared? Then you dare her to threaten you. So there's a restraining order in effect right now, correct?
Yes, but after that whole situation with me and Nakia, her boyfriend started to text me. He was making threats, but I have text messages here where I say that I was going to pay, and I say that I'm not going to pay in person, or I'm not going to give them their stuff in person. I have messages saying that I'm willing to give the money.
She was negotiating with
Do you understand
him.
the difference between claiming you're going to give money and giving money?
No, yes,
There's
I
a big
do know.
difference, right? Like if I want to buy your head wrap and I take it, and then I say, well, I never said I wasn't going to pay you. That's not right, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like rule number 1. I'm ordering the defendant to pay the plaintiff $271.95. As for the emotional distress 0, you have your restraining order in place. That's my verdict.
So the plaintiff gets what she was seeking here in the People's Court. You okay with the judge's verdict? What are you thinking?
I'm okay. No, I'm good. I still got the business, so I feel I'm okay.
You are?
Yes.
And is the business, are you making money?
Absolutely. 271, she got that. So it's hers, actually. I don't feel bad. I feel like she actually does deserve it, so it's no hard feelings.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
That's a good way to look at it. It's that way. Okay, door is that way. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, she says she feels like you deserve it. How about that?
So why didn't you give it to me
Well,
then?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Do you miss being in the business? You think you lost out on something?
You know, I missed out on an opportunity to make a profit, but I was just the wrong business partner.
Okay. So you don't worry. You don't miss it.
There'll be other opportunities in the future.
Okay, good luck. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must sign some documents. Harvey?
Doug, you got to know who you're dealing with when you go into business with them because the liabilities can kill you. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
This is the plaintiff, April Hines. She says she was forced to move from the apartment she rented from the defendant because the woman's a horrible, uncaring landlord who never fixed a thing. That's right, the furnace was red tagged and declared a fire hazard. She had a roach problem which was never addressed, and it cost her $5,000 to move, and the defendant needs to pay up for her misdeeds, so she's suing. This is the defendant, Leslie Smith. She says the plaintiff's a professional rent scammer who hasn't paid any rent for over 3 months, and she's in the process of getting her evicted. The woman's a combative opportunist. She refuses to be a victim any longer and doesn't owe her a penny. She's accused of ignoring a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $10,000 for unpaid rent and punitive damages.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff had to move from the apartment she rented because it was a disaster. Roaches, fire hazards, the works. Defendant says the plaintiff's a rent scammer and a deadbeat to boot. It's the case of You Really Bug Me.
Thank you, Douglas. April Hines, you are suing your landlord or former landlord? Are you still living there?
I still live there.
Your landlord, Leslie Smith, for $5,000 in moving expenses that you have not incurred yet because you still live there. And then you have a counterclaim against her for $10,000 for rent that you say is unpaid and punitive damages. All right, ladies, let me hear what's going on.
All righty. So I moved into Miss Smith's property last year, February of last year. I moved into the property with a housing assistant program, and they assist me for 6 months. When I first moved in.
Did they pay the full rent those 6 months?
The first 3 months they paid the full rent.
And
then from there on out, I was responsible for a portion of it, which I paid $350. I paid $350 for the next 3 months.
And then after that, the whole rent is on you?
And then the whole rent was on me.
Okay. So the first time you have to pay rent is July 15th?
The first month I pay is February. I have a receipt for February 2nd.
I meant that you personally paid.
That
July
I paid
15th?
was July. Yeah.
And you paid that. And then August you paid. September you paid.
I paid everything except
October you paid. The first time that there is a problem with payment is November. What's going on in November?
In November,
because she's counterclaiming against you for the $350 of November rent that you didn't pay. You paid partially.
Right. So the $350 of the rent, I actually gave her a money order for that, and she lost the money order, and it was going through the money order system where they had to wait 3 months to make sure the funds were collected, it wasn't used or whatever, and after that was done, then I would give her the $350.
Did the 3 months pass?
Yeah, I gave her the $350.
Okay. So how did you give her the $350?
I gave it to her back in a money order. I get all my money orders from my bank.
Okay. So do you have proof that you paid that $350?
Yes.
You follow, right? Like the second one. Did you get us another money order for that November rent?
Actually, the first check that I actually.
Did you lose a money order? Yes or no?
Yes, I did. In July.
Then did she? Okay. So in July. Okay. And then did she make good on that July money order?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Did you lose a $350 money order in November?
No, I did not.
Okay. So why are you claiming $350 for a balance of November rent?
Because she didn't pay full amount rent in November.
Okay. So you didn't lose a $350 money order in November.
No.
Are the dates for the money orders you're giving me in November or July?
I don't even understand
See, what she's doing is she's just rolling over your debt to November.
Okay.
You paid $1,200 in November, but you still owed $350 for October. Is that correct? So then she applied the $350 of that $1,200 to October, and then $850 to November rent, leaving you with a debt in November's rent. Was she always a little bit behind?
No, she was on time up until July.
When it was actually coming from her pocket.
Right. I was trying to really help her.
Okay.
To charge her $1,200 rent. I was trying to help her.
So when did the problem start between you?
In April of 2018, I had an issue with the neighbors, okay? The neighbors repeatedly parked in front of my garage, and it came to a point where I actually was getting into it. I got into an argument with the neighbors.
Okay, but these are the problems you're having with the neighbor. What did she do wrong as a landlord that deprives her of being able to get paid?
I brought this to her attention many a times. And then she tells me, April, well, the people downstairs, she sided with them. Basically, she said, I needed to take a psychology class. I was crazy. I should have never said anything to these people. Okay, wait a second.
Why would a psychology class? What were you implying when you said she should take a psychology class?
I noticed that whenever we have a conversation, it becomes argumentative, and there's always some comeback, some pushback. So I suggested to her that she needed to seek counseling, therapy. I really believe that she was stressed.
Okay.
I did speak to the tenants downstairs. I asked them not to disturb her. She is a young lady. Don't approach her like that. I did speak to them.
Tell me the reasons why you haven't paid December, January, February.
Oh, I didn't pay that because then I got these letters from Miss Smith. And I was just really confused as what to do. I'm panicking now, like, let me hurry up and move out of her place because I got a 3-day notice.
What does that have to do with you paying rent? You're still living there.
Excuse me, 30-day notice to move.
Yeah. You're on a month-to-month, right? You don't have a lease.
Right. So my understanding of this, no, it didn't make sense to me. My understanding of this is that I needed to move.
Yeah,
so if
that's
I
exactly what a 30-day notice. See, when you're on a month-to-month, you have the ability to get kicked out at any time with 30 days notice.
Okay.
Okay, so why would that mean you don't pay rent for 3 more months? I'm so confused. You're not confused at all. You know exactly what it means.
No, I'm not confused at that, but I'm confused with the 30-day notice. And then this is another thing she sends me right back, and she says this supersedes all other notices that she comes with. And this is on the January 2nd, and then this is January 15th.
So your lawsuit, let's talk about your lawsuit specifically. You're suing for $5,000, and that's for what?
For moving expenses. How do you
have $5,000 in moving expenses? Do you have receipts? What do you have? What do you mean? You haven't even
on
moved.
My phone, I just showed like little places that I screenshotted places that I've been looking at and what the requirement is to move.
You mean the actual rent at the next place or deposits at the next place?
Yeah, like if you go.
Why would your landlord from the last place have to pay your? Why would your landlord from the last place have to pay your rent for the new place? On what theory?
So is there such a thing really as professional rent scammers?
I believe so. There's a lot of scammers out there, and it would not surprise me.
So maybe landlords have a bad name?
Yeah, I could see that.
Good. I'm glad you can. Going inside the courtroom.
Because I'm being made to leave.
Yeah, you're being made to leave, which is exactly what your legal right is. You have a right to be there another 30 days. That's all you have. You don't have a bigger legal right than that.
I'm trying to leave that place as soon as possible, ma'am.
Okay, so do you have a plan? What's
your plan? My only plan is to search for an apartment and look for a place.
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
And I have been doing that.
Have you found a place?
I have not found a place yet.
Okay, so it's the same as if you've done nothing because you haven't found a place and you have no plan. So you have a 30-day notice that is filed, you are correct, in January. The superseding one is filed on proof of service on January 15th. All right. You haven't paid the balance of November of $350. You haven't paid December 15th would be the next payment, and that's $1,200. You haven't paid January 15th, and that's the next payment, that's $1,200. All right. Now, let me understand your counterclaim against her, because you're suing for rent, and that I understand, but you're also suing for punitive damages. For what?
All this stress that's causing me.
Oh, my gosh. Would that we could collect money just because someone's annoying us. All right, folks, let's go over what we have here. On your lawsuit against her, you are not entitled to have your landlord pay for your moving expenses. There's just nowhere in the world where you're entitled to that. On the counterclaim that you have against her for $350 for November rent and $3,600 for rent, including future rent, which hasn't even happened yet. No on the future rent, but you are entitled to the $350, the $1,200, and the $1,200 because based on what I've heard, particularly when you tell me, well, I haven't paid rent because I'm confused because I got a notice to quit. No, you're not confused. You're just putting the money in your pocket instead of hers. I find in your favor in the amount of the $2,750. As for the additional sums that you were suing her for punitive damages, also no. Do you have an eviction pending?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a lawyer on that, ma'am?
I have a paralegal.
Yeah, you need to speak to somebody because this is a case where you're going to have to assert your rights and you're going to have to assert them, you know.
Okay.
I think you got that reading on this,
I do.
okay? So I find in your favor for the rent and the amount, and only the rent, in the amount of $2,750, and in your lawsuit against her, $0.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff fails in her lawsuit, but the defendant does prevail. You lost. What do you think?
Yeah, I lost. Honestly, maybe I didn't present the facts straight, but honestly, I feel like what I was asking for was reasonable.
Wow.
I will be leaving her place as soon as possible, but yeah.
Well, you're going to have to. She's evicting you, okay?
Thank you, sir. We're finished?
We're finished. Goodbye. All right, Ms. Smith. Well, you didn't get $10,000. I mean, you were stretching it a little bit. What do you think?
Well, you know, the most important thing is that she understands that I want her to move.
And she's moving. I think she's on her way.
I'm going to make sure.
This will be a red letter day for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, good luck. Thank you very much. Okay. Harvey?
You know, it's so funny. I mean, I know you sign leases when you rent an apartment, but if you two don't get along, you and the landlord, sit down with a landlord and try to work out an exit strategy. It's amazing how compromise sometimes can settle these disputes.